Boy, do we have some big updates in the Andy No story. First, from Congressman Jim Banks tweeting, "In light of events this weekend in Portland, Oregon, I call on POTUS, the Justice Department, and FBI to investigate Antifa and declare them a domestic terrorist organization. Their avowal of violence and routine intimidation, harassment, and assault of Americans has no place in this country." Let's retweet this. See, I want to make sure we have the most up to date because I pulled this up a while ago. 824 retweets already. Now, here's the funny thing. This is what people love to do. U.S. deaths caused by extremists, far right, ISIS, Antifa. Oh, geez, Antifa's not bad. They only gave a gay Asian journalist a brain hemorrhage. Two things can be true at the same time. Three things can be true at the same time. In fact, this may be shocking to many of you, but did you know that multiple things can be true at the same time, such as ISIS is bad, the far-right extremists are bad, and Antifa is bad. Some are more bad than others. It doesn't mean that they're not bad simply because one is worse. What is wrong with people in this country that they're like, well, Antifa did give a gay Asian journalist a brain hemorrhage, but what? That's bad, and it should be condemned. Now, I will say this to Jim Banks, huge, but my understanding is that Antifa is already considered a domestic terrorist organization, which is really funny considering Twitter allows them to use their platforms. Isn't that weird? There is more, however. It is not just Jim Banks. We've also seen something from Ted Cruz. Check this out. This is from the other day. Ted Cruz calls for legal action against Portland mayor after clash between far-right Antifa protesters. Now, I don't know if this is specifically having to do with Andy No, except for the fact that this is what sparked the big, viral moment. That, look, when it was the far left and far right or whatever, fighting each other, people, turned a blind eye. When it then became Trump supporters getting attacked by Antifa, it was frogs boiling. It was people saying like, oh, but isn't it far right? And then you get CNN and all these other people going on TV defending the delusions of these weirdos who are LARPing. Now it's the gay Asian journalist who was brutally beaten. He's a journalist. He's going around filming. You don't like the way he films things? Well, it's too bad. You don't like his opinions? That's too bad. But they beat him up. And so now we're seeing a lot more action. Let's see what Ted Cruz had to say. Senator Ted Cruz, a prominent conservative and member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, wants federal authorities to investigate and prosecute the mayor of Portland, Oregon, after Cruz accused him of ordering police to allow attacks against a conservative activist. To federal law enforcement, investigate and bring legal action against a mayor who has, for political reasons, ordered his police officers to let citizens be attacked by domestic terrorists, Cruz tweeted early Sunday, referring to Ted Wheeler. Wheeler, who is also the police commissioner, really? Has faced criticism after Andy No, a sub-editor and photojournalist for Quillette, a conservative online publication, was reportedly assaulted by Antifa protesters, leaving him with scratches and a black eye. There's video of it, by the way. I love how they keep saying allegedly or reportedly. There's literally video of what happened. Okay, they punch him in the face, they're attacking, they're throwing things at him. Come on. Rival demonstrations by far-right and Antifa groups turned into violent street clashes in Portland on Saturday, resulting in multiple injuries and arrests. Police reported the demonstrations became violent when some demonstrators started throwing milkshakes of quick-drying cement and using pepper spray. Check that out. That's now on the record. They were throwing quick lime in milkshakes. Now, I want to stress this too, just for people who want to make that argument, because I presented this in the past couple of videos. The left is arguing that sugar stops cement from setting. Not the point. When cement sets, is an exothermic reaction. It's converting from a liquid to a solid, and heat gets, comes out of it. But what we're really talking about here is chemical burns, because quick-drying cement in general, has a very high pH. It's alkaline, which causes chemical burns, okay? Your sugar be damned. It's irrelevant. They go on to say the Daily Caller, a conservative outlet, published a photo of No spattered with what appeared to be a milkshake and a bruised eye. He was later admitted to the hospital because of what a legal representative described as a brain bleed, according to the Daily Caller. Cruz retweeted a photo of No and wrote, "Sickening criminal assault to mainstream journalists. Don't cover this up. Don't ignore it." U.S. Ambassador to Germany, Richard Grenell, also jumped on the story, tweeting, "Where is Mayor Ted Wheeler? Where is the national media?" Grenell, who is gay, tweeted, "This was a premeditated attack on someone because intolerant radicals don't like that Andy happens to be gay, Asian, and conservative." I want to break that down and stress. I think the way it's phrased is not clear enough. It's not that he's gay, Asian, and conservative. It's that he's gay and Asian and then a conservative. He's a traitor to the cause. He's supposed to fall in line. They don't like liberals who defend freedom. They don't like social justice activists who defend freedom and reject authoritarian tactics. I think you'd find most people who oppose Antifa, be it conservative, moderate, liberal, believe in social justice. Some people have pushed back and said social justice is just justice. Whatever your point is, people believe in justice. What we don't believe in is the authoritarian application of this ideology. I have no problem if you are a far-left communist, social justice activist, so long as you greet people with a handshake and a conversation. When it devolves into bricks and baseball bats, that's the problem. There are people, and those who would advocate censorship too, you're out the window. The point I'm saying is, I believe in social justice. I believe that we can do right by marginalized communities. I believe that government programs can be a good thing to help alleviate a lot of the problems of historical and systemic racism. I can go into great detail on all of this. However, bashing people over the head, knocking them down, throwing cement on them, that doesn't do anything for the cause. It makes things worse. The only thing that's going to bring about justice and reform is conversations and liberty. Because guess what? Surprise, surprise, we've been doing it. Okay? This is the point I'm trying to make. Over the past, couple hundred years, there have been violent escalations. We want to not have those things anymore. We want to recognize how to make things better, and we've done it. With gay marriage, Supreme Court made a ruling nationwide. These changes come about. Civil rights are being achieved in positive, peaceful, pragmatic, and calm ways. Over time, the conversation changes and people become more accepting of liberty. These people are the inversion to that. They're mirror mode. They're violent authoritarians that are hiding behind social justice to cause problems, to gain power. That's all they really care about. Let's read on. Grenell later added that he had asked the Justice Department to investigate, writing, "I can't just sit by and watch my friend be brutally attacked." Video showed No being punched and kicked by young men wearing black hooded sweatshirts and face masks. The video didn't show any police in the vicinity. When a police officer showed up, No asked, "Where the hell were all of you?" according to a video he took on his phone. Now I will say this. A lot of people are defending the attack on No by saying he should have known better. Well, first of all, Andy did know. Andy tweeted about this. He said they were singling him out. They said they were going to attack him. The difference here is not whether he should or shouldn't have been attacked. He shouldn't have. The difference here is he knew it was possible and he had the courage to go out and still do his job as a journalist. There's a difference between walking into a dark alley to use an ATM shrouded in darkness and getting robbed, and Andy knowing the risks that come with the job. That's been the excuse presented by many mainstream journalists. Well, he should have recognized that these things. He did. He did recognize it. And he even gave us evidence that they were targeting him and they'd been threatening him, spamming his phone, and sure enough, it happened. The real issue is that Andy doing his job was facing these threats. Period. It's really funny. They like to hide behind, "Oh, now I'm being harassed," like when James O'Keefe did the expose on Jen Janai. Her first post is, "Now I'm receiving threats from people," as if that's the worst thing ever. It's bad. It is. Where were these journalists when Andy No was receiving threats? Nowhere to be found. And then what happens when he says, "I'm going to do my job in the face of these threats"? What do they say? Well, he should have known better. Really? He did. And he knew the risk that came with it. And where were you? They're not defending him now, and they didn't defend him then. Their true colors, their mask, it's slipped. Huffington Post writers, Kotaku writers, a spokesperson, I believe, I don't know what Charlotte Clymer's position is, with HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, which is supposed to defend gay rights, defending it, defending the attack on this gay Asian journalist. Let's read the last bit. 3 protesters were later arrested, though police did not say whether the arrests were in connection with assaulting No or for other conduct. I believe they were not. I believe it was, someone stated that the arrests had nothing to do with Andy. So the people who attacked him are still at large, but people are compiling photos, and there were other people who were attacked as well. Gage Halupowski, 23, was charged with multiple counts of assault including on a public safety officer. James Stocks, 21, was charged with harassment, and Maria DeHart, 23, was charged with disorderly conduct and harassment, according to Portland police. I'll say this. It seems like there's a crisis of purpose. These people don't know what they're doing with their lives. They're mediocre, but they were told they were going to be rock stars and presidents and celebrities. And they're not. They're just regular people. They're not unique snowflakes. That's the joke. That's where it comes from. Fight Club. You are not a beautiful and unique snowflake. We were all told we were going to be rock stars, right? Well, you're not. Well, that's life. Life is just boring. Well, they don't want life to be boring. They need to fill that hole inside them. So what do? They LARP. Live action role playing, pretending they're fighting in La Resistance against the Germans. They're not. They're a bunch of crazy young people who beat up a gay Asian journalist because they think they're fighting against an oppressive regime. Sorry, you're just a bunch of fringe wackaloons running around doing crazy things. And that's all you'll ever be. Well, actually, now these people will be criminals. I'll leave it there. Stick around. I got some more segments coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you shortly.